Okay, we're back. We have some tools and we have some parts. Some of the stuff you might actually need. Not box. And not box. So where's my parts that are no longer here? Oh, there they go. That bag. So there's your implement tool.
A little special. Is that a tapered bit?
This here?
Yeah, it looks tapered.
No. You go through here and it cleans out your orifice here.
Hmm.
Go through these other ones here like this.
Is that a Harley tool?
It is now.
Well, but it wasn't made specifically for this.
It's kind of gooey down there, but nothing comes up. You'd feel the muck on there though, with varnish.
Oh, it's definitely got it in there, huh?
Not enough to really cause a problem because it's not really enough to build up to cut out. It's just, it has drag, you can feel it. See the area in there, see? Right there. Kind of work it off like this a little bit. Alright, so this is the one that goes down through here. You go down till you get to the bottom. See how it goes in kind of hard?
Mm-hmm. Is that hitting something?
It's varnished again.
Oh, I saw that time.
You go down that big groove line, there's our stop. If you keep going, you come out the other side, it'd be bad.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you want to.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's not really plugged up. Got a little goop down there, not too bad. Not enough to cause a major issue, I don't think. Where's this thing? Why is that not going in there? There's a slot in there and it's supposed to go in through that. Oh. Let her fly away, dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. See, normally I have this thing apart all the way.
Oh.
So this is the one that's supposed to be in there. Yours is not going in.
What are you putting that into besides that hole? What's in there?
Transfer slot. There it goes.
So that's where that air goes through?
It's where the air fuel mix goes through. Emulsified brew.
Oh, it atomizes through that little slot?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
It's actually supposed to already be atomized by the time it gets here. But being a Harley, it kind of probably dribbles fuel out of it. Yeah. So anyway, this is a cut down razor blade. I mean a hacksaw blade.
Oh.
It's 20 thou thickness, which is how wide the slot's supposed to be. So to make sure the slot is clear, you push it on through there like that.
And it was not clear before, huh?
It was not going in there because some dumbass had the disc right there in the way, see?
Oh.
So once I moved the disc out of the way, the little narrow blade, which is for the small carburetors, went through. But no, this one did not want to go in there. But it does now. So I cleaned the slot out. So the slot had a little burrs in there or whatever. So it's cleaned out. Some little tricks you do. That's where we hide the tools so people won't steal them.
Yep.
Nobody knows where they're at.
Nope.
Except me. Okay, so now we have the transfer slot, which is right here. When you open the throttle up, see how the fuel comes into the slot?
Oh, yeah.
And that affects your idle and right off of idle. That first eighth of the throttle, where it won't take the gas, that's controlled by that.
Oh, okay.
So unless you got the throttle hung half open, it doesn't do anything. Alright, so then we got that halfway handled out.
Wait, so before it wasn't taking the gas because that thing had some issues, right?
Well, it was partially burred up or something. It wouldn't go through, so yeah, it goes through now. This appears to be fairly flat. Probably could have already worked on it.
Yep.
So that's good. All your stuff here for your fuel flows, for all your idle circuit, was partially scummy in there, but not plugged. So we cleaned that out with those long drills. So both these two serve to clean it out a little bit. I cannot go down this one because someone has modified your plug.
Yeah. There's no way of like drilling that out or anything.
It's better to leave it alone than make it worse.
Yeah, I understand.
Because it's going to be, you have to drill out that piece right there. And if you screw up those threads, you're screwed. So, best to leave it alone than make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, now this surface over here appears to be halfway flat.
Has some experience.
So we'll go check to see how flat that is in a couple minutes. Okay, this thread over here was marginal, but it seemed to be working, so I'm going to leave it. So all this is all unplugged now, so that should all be good. Your jet is way too big, and I told you to plug it up for a reason, which you did not do. So you can either solder this thing up about halfway and leave it around a 50 thou hole in it,
I'm just going to put the plug in there.
or you can plug it and just come off the needle. You did both. You left it wide open and pulled the needle way the hell out. So that makes it even more richer. So, wonderful. Okay, we're going to go check this to see how bad this is. You already said this was halfway hole in the vacuum, so the fuel seepage should not be a major issue.
No, it's not that bad actually.
Your needles appear to be fairly straight, which is a good thing, and they're not all nicked up on the tips, so those are good. So we just need to check this out. This here has a little bit of discolorization, but it's not really scummy
It's like
or
the inside of
flaky.
the toilet.
You know, it's not really super flaky or anything. If you run some cleaner through it, it'll be fine.
Some carb cleaner.
No carb cleaner, just run fuel additive in your gas, some cleaner. Injector cleaner, it'll clean this fine stuff.
Oh, like
this.
seafoam.
No, run actual cleaner, not that stupid foam crap.
Okay.
There's a difference between cleaning stuff and being very aggressive.
Mm.
You don't need to be that aggressive to clean stuff.
I noticed before whenever I ran seafoam.
So if you use this stuff here,
Yeah.
it'll clean out your stuff. Just put some in every couple tankfuls, or in your case, probably every tank full for about the next 5 of them. And it'll clean itself out. So you give it a couple of squirts in each tank, and that's plenty.
Yeah, I noticed the seafoam always made any bike I put it in smoke a little bit.
Probably wasn't good for the motor.
Probably not.
Okay, so now we want to check this out here. We got to check this out here. The rest of the stuff looks good. So let me do over here and check it out. So that goes there, so don't move it. This goes over here. That appears to be a high spot.
Probably from this nick.
Probably right where somebody dropped it.
Oh, yeah.
Who did that?
Could have been anyone.
Wasn't me. For once.
Probably some guy at the swap meet.
Okay, nicks are gone. Might not chew up the paper so bad now. Appears to be extremely not flat. What's up with this big gouge in here?
No idea. It's always been like that.
Oh, it's probably nothing important then. Alright, so someone needs to come over here and work on this thing like this for a little while until it gets smoother. Key is to move it around a lot so you don't wear it out. You got to be on a flat surface and you got good paper. So you can see how it's still high on the outside and not doing much in the middle here. Which means the gasket has to do more work. See the grit coming off there?
Yeah.
That snake just bit me.
Oh, yeah. Gotta watch out for snakes around here.
It just fell on my foot. I don't know what it was before, but it just went to my foot.
It was attacking you.
I think it was.
It didn't like you disturbing its nest.
Probably was laying someplace.
Looks a lot better.
Yeah, but I'm the one doing the work. That's the problem.
Well, do you want to trade?
So, this is going to need a lot more of that same work. Let's go over here. Check out this piece. So we pull out the good drills, not the crappy ones.
Oh, wow. It's a lot of drills.
You figure out which size this is. What size is this?
That's about it.
Bigger than that one. How about this fancy gold one?
Too big.
That's too big.
I think it was like two bigger than the one you
So
first
we're
bought.
going between 144 and 110, I guess. Let's try 120. No, that's not it either.
Next one.
Next one, you sure? 128?
Next one.
136? You know, keep going next one and be like with that gold one again.
Next one.
So we're up to almost to the 140, that's 144. Okay, so it goes in there about that far and stops. It stops right where these holes are at.
That means there's burrs.
That means there's burrs. Come through that side. Oh, it appears to be burry, the same spot.
How does that happen?
So now you take the burr remover and run it through.
How do you get burrs in there? Just production? They don't.
It might be crushed. There's a big spring on that push nut. Did you beat on it with a big hammer one day?
No.
Did you drop it on the floor?
No.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay, well that might not be the reason then. Okay, well, either way it's pretty straightened out now. So that was 140. Okay, now this one here, what size holes are those? Humongous. Big size.
I think that's too small.
I'm gonna go with 63. Probably 67. Nope. 63.
Oh.
59. Ooh, they made them smaller. They used to be bigger in the old days. There you go.
You get more fuel that way?
This emulsion tube is for the air and fuel mix.
Oh.
When you're playing around with this crap right here, you're playing around with the intermediate circuit of your carburetor.
So you can get more fuel in that mid-range?
So if you want to fatten it up or have the main jet come in earlier, you can make the holes bigger. See, the air holes are on the top and the fuel holes are on the bottom. Now if you put some holes up in here, it gets air instead of fuel. It makes a change.
Dramatic.
Yes, it makes big differences, all the stuff you do. So back in the day, we used to run these at 70. I thought they were 70. It must be 63 is what I ran them at. I thought I had them at 70. I was running them out on some of my bikes.
Jeez.
That's back when we had a different fuel than we run today.
Probably wouldn't run as good now, huh?
It'd be too rich for these days because the fuel we run now is not fuel, it's called garbage. Now if you run rice gas in the vehicle, yeah, it'll like that bigger holes, but you run pump gas, it doesn't like it as much.
Yeah, this is a pump machine.
So when you drill these out, you don't want to drill them too big. So 59 is actually a good size. 63 is too much for the street these days.
That's probably why they make them smaller now, huh?
I'm surprised they're smart enough to know this stuff. So
Well, thank you, whoever made that.
they just reproduce it, they don't make it any better. Okay, so I clean up those little holes there, double check this one to make sure the burrs are gone. Now when the hole size changes in here, it affects everything also. Or if this gets mushed over up in here from being abused, it makes a difference.
I've seen on a
You
SNS.
can abuse this side here because it don't mean nothing, but when you abuse anything in here or up in here, it makes a difference.
Yeah, I seen a guy do this on his SNS. He kind of nicked up the part of the emulsion tube, and he said it made it squirt the fuel rather than dribble. And I said, well, did it run well? And he said, yeah, it made a big difference.
I don't know about that. Change the fuel curve, it will do that.
I didn't buy the carb, needless to say.
It will change the fuel curve, so maybe it was too fat for them, and doing that makes it lean out a little bit, or maybe the other way around. Because the airflow blows across this, and anything you do to it affects how the airflow.
Yeah,
sucks on
he
that
had
hole.
like squished on it and then cut some notches into it.
Yeah, I think that's just going to lean it out and make the main jet come in real late. He's probably way too fat downstairs already, so probably leaned it out, would be my guess. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to do some sanding.